What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Angelo Nassau from the GETDWN PODCAST. What's your story? I'm here with my boy, Alex Clarke.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, me and Clarke got something going on we want to talk to you guys about. I got the GETDWN podcast, but we're also working on a new podcast called High Class. High Class Podcast. And we're going to let Alex fill you in what High Class Podcast is about. Go for it, man.
So, High Class Podcast is going to be a little bit about like the cannabis community. Also, like people working in the cannabis community, how cannabis has also helped them in a medicinal way or a medical way. Whether it's anxiety, helped them get off heavy pharmaceuticals or hard drugs, as well as people that are within the cannabis community, whether they're working or they are just medical patients. Just finding out how cannabis has helped them and how it's affected their life in a positive or a negative way. That's basically what the podcast is going to be about, as well as music and just lifestyle.
Lifestyle, exactly. Lifestyle. Yeah. Like I think what we're going to start playing with is like, first is being a cannabis consumer. You know, I don't know a lot about the legalization part of it, which a lot of people.
Not a lot of people do.
They don't.
It's all gray area.
It's all gray areas. You know, we could light up a joint here, but you can't light up a joint here. You can't. You know, where do we get our cannabis from? My whole aspect of it is trying to educate people on cannabis that they're smoking. There's different ways.
Or different ways of taking the cannabis. You don't have to smoke it.
Right.
You can drink it. You can use it as a topical. You can eat it.
Yeah.
You can chew it like gum. There's so many different ways to consume cannabis or cannabis byproducts and get the medicinal benefits from it without actually inhaling it into your lungs. Because a lot of people are skeptical about that and want the most healthiest way to consume it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how did you get into, I think we all know how we all got into cannabis. High school days,
high school days, pretty much. Elementary school days for some of us.
Yeah. Whoa, elementary school days.
Way back.
I was in preschool and this guy came on the yard and he was like, yo, you got to try this shit.
Yeah.
How did you get into more of the educational part of it?
Well, my parents, basically. My dad got prostate cancer. He's in remission now. And my mom has Lyme disease. My dad did chemo treatment, and he found it was just killing him and destroying his... he just couldn't do it anymore. He did one treatment, and he was done. So I was able to looked up some Rick Simpson oil and how to properly make the Rick Simpson oil and follow the steps. And basically, that's all I did. I gave him a syringe, put it in a mason jar, said take a rice grain a day, maybe twice a day, take it from there. From there, my dad's now in remission, right? Like,
wow,
that's big.
unreal.
That's big. Like,
yeah.
Lyme disease, on the other hand, though, Lyme disease is one of those diseases that they still don't even recognize it. So, yes, they acknowledge that Lyme disease is out there, but they don't recognize it in the sense of how to treat it. So, from the research that I know, once again, cannabis, not just cannabis, also not just getting the high factor of the cannabis, as well as the medicinal, as in the CBD. For people that don't know, CBD is a compound found in cannabis as well as hemp, right? With CBD, you can take this, and it will help with your anxiety, pain, inflammation, sleep, migraines, cramps, a wide variety of things. But you can also take this, go to work, take this, go to school, because it's non-psychoactive. So, with that being said, I made my mom some ointments. Also gave her some of the RSO oil for her to take under her tongue.
Under her tongue, yeah.
And she would use bath bombs, soak in the bath bombs, and then as well as use ointments on her shoulders to help with her Lyme disease. So once again, there's no cure for it, but it definitely helps to keep her up and going. She's owned a salon for 32 years, so she still goes up and runs her salon and take care of her business, man. So that's basically what really got me into the education and the medicinal factor of cannabis, as well as my medical issues as well, right?
Yeah. Did you... we both came from the black market of cannabis, right?
Yeah.
That's how we were getting cannabis.
That was how everyone was getting their cannabis for the longest time.
There was
no government. There's no OCS back in the day. You knew a homie. Hey, can I meet you here? Hey, I want an eighth. Take it from there.
Yeah. What do you think? Like the government coming in and legalizing it. What do you think that's going to do for us here?
That's a very tough situation because once again, the government's still trying to work out everything for themselves, right?
Yeah.
They say, was it April 1st? April 1st, we're going to have the first cannabis storefronts, right? But look at what happened when they legalized it on October 17th. There were so many issues.
Lots,
right?
yeah.
So in the first 2 weeks, there were people getting moldy weed. We also had the Canada Post strike. People getting shorted.
Yeah.
I actually read an article saying how when you order from your OCS, there's a good chance you will be short. So if you get anywhere from, I think it was 10 grams and under, you could be shorted up to a 0.5. And that's legit. Up to 30 grams, up to a 1.5.
So where's that 1.5 or 0.5 going?
Exactly.
Somebody just
exactly. Oh,
so,
that's for me. This is for you. Yeah.
For you. That's
But they put that in paper saying it's going to happen and expect it.
Oh, what?
But
amazing.
In the black market, if you spend, hey, I want an eighth. You getting an eighth. You're not getting shorted. You're getting your
what you
full
pay for,
eighth.
man.
So,
it depends on your dealer too.
Exactly. You
Because
maybe
some
get
of
a
my
little
guys,
bit more.
my guys are like, yo, here, man. Do you want
extra.
the funny thing about the dealer is like, yo, you can have. I've had all types of dealers.
Yeah.
I've had dealers where like you go over to their house, they try to make you dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yo, can you stay for a bit? I'm like, no, man, I can't.
Yeah.
You know. Then you have the one dealer that's like, do you want the good stuff? I'll give you this stuff, and it's like you're getting your count.
It's like a grandma's boy.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna give you the shitty stuff. The shitty or the good stuff, right? So the shitty stuff, I'll give you a little bit more of that, right?
But this, you're going to get it right on point.
Right on point, yeah. It's crazy because we just found out, too, that Niagara Falls didn't opt in for stores.
Niagara Falls didn't opt in. But that's a border city. Think about that. When you look around, a lot of the places that didn't opt in, or opted out, I should say, either they're very, very small towns or municipalities, or they're border cities or border towns.
So, do you think it's gonna hurt them at all?
Hurt the border?
Do you think it's gonna hurt Niagara? Like
hands down.
Yeah, because Niagara Falls is hurting already.
It is.
Their downtown is hurting, man.
It's just, what is Niagara Falls known for?
It's just their Niagara Falls and their Lundy's Lane. That's
Lundy's Lane as well, but it's a tourist, right?
Marineland.
Not anymore. Everyone's boycotting Marineland. The walrus just passed away. He was sick. No reason for that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because it did St. Catharines. I guess if St. Catharines opted out or opted in, they get a store. Then you're gonna have the traffic from the States go to St. Catharines, but then
they're gonna be skipping Niagara Falls now. They're not gonna be
that's right.
They messed up, and now if you opted out, I don't know if it's going to, you are not going to have a chance to opt in later, but it'd be that much harder for you to opt in and say, yes, now we want one. When you're going to be looking back at all these other cities or towns or municipalities, and you're like, wow, over the first month, they made $300,000 in the first month.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's funny because the way me and Alex with the other podcast, how we started talking about it was that we both saw this coming years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw what was going on in Colorado. And I've been saying it for years. Like, people have been putting their money investing into marijuana stocks. And that's great. But look what happened. Nobody got rich except the rich.
Exactly.
So what I think the next thing is we need to start having cannabis tourism. That's what I think is going to be big.
Yeah, hands down,
right?
Dude. Hands down.
Because people want to get educated on the cannabis. They also want to go see how it's made.
Yep.
They also want to try the product. You know, there's so much that they can do with it.
Truly.
Just like beer and wine tours can happen, I think the cannabis tours are going to be massive.
Think about it. Like in Canada, what was the ratio of the Canadians under 18 to 40 that smoked cannabis? It was a stupid amount. I'm pretty sure it was like 70-something%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That smoke cannabis. Why? Like, it would be on a city level. I understand why not, but I don't understand. Like, what you'll be able to do with having a storefront in your city, town, or municipality, the revenue that you will earn from that alone.
Yeah,
that'll take care of your roads for the year.
Yeah, it's insane how much it's gonna it'll do.
Yeah. Colorado got themselves out of debt in the first year of legalization
They
with storefront.
They made a lot
and
of
money on top. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they made $74.6 million. $74.6 million in the first year.
You know what's funny is I saw one documentary, and the guy that makes the most, he's right down the street from the airport, which is smart.
Genius. You get off. Everybody
That's
knows
the
what's
first
going
place
on
that
in
they're gonna go
Colorado. Boom, right down the street.
Like,
And even if he has good or mediocre product, people are going to go because they're coming right off.
right off they just want to light up and smoke, man.
Exactly. It's like going to Jamaica. When you go to Jamaica, I don't know about anybody else if you've been there or anybody else had the same experience I did.
Dun River Falls,
Yeah.
first of all. Yeah, I know.
Dun River Falls. I got to the airport, got my bags. I had weed and hash in my pocket before I got onto my way to go to my...
You know what's fucking funny about you? Okay, I get off on my...
I can just imagine.
This guy gets off, right? And he's got weed and hash. I get off my cruise ship from DJing. I walk into Ocho Rios. Guy puts fucking 8 ball of cocaine in my head.
Difference.
It's a big difference. I'm like, yo, what? He's like, yo, man, this is for you, man. This is for you. I'm like, no. Because like the big thing down there that they were doing at the time was they'd tell the cops would take you.
And then
they'd beat the shit out of you, take your passport. I'm like, dude, I don't want this, man. He's like, no, man, pushing it on me. I'm like, yo, it's because I'm white. Like, they just think I have money. Like, they just want to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking insane. And it was crazy. But they put cannabis and hash in your hand.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I went about my way.
You went about your way.
Funny story is, everybody knows in Jamaica they grow cannabis like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm on this resort. I was about to go. I'm wanting more cannabis. So I go over to the water. And on this resort, they put their water in big barrels. So you can just pick out a water bottle. Walk over to the water bottle. Walk over to the barrel. I look down. A massive bag of herb. I was like, well, isn't this a coincidence? I'm out. I need some. So I look at the barrel. Look at some ladies that are swimming and they're watching me. I'm pretty sure they just came here to get water, so they know the bag was herb there. So I was like, well, the right thing to do is to take the bag of herb, because if I don't, somebody else is going to. Well, guess what I did? I took that bag of weed. Went right to my room and rolled up a few spliffs and came right back down to the poolside.
Was that their weed? Or was it just somebody's weed?
Oh, that was somebody that was working the resort that stashed weed in the barrel. Either they forgot to or didn't come back to it, and hey, it was a beautiful day.
Is it good weed there?
You know what's hit or miss? Very hit or miss. A lot of the stuff you can get out there, you can get cess, you can get bushweed. But now over the last few years, they've been growing high quality indoor, just like you would find out here, right? But once again,
which sesh and what? Okay,
cess.
Cess
is like, it's like, I don't know how to put it. It's like low quality herb. And it has seeds and stems in there, right? A lot of people will use a cess and mix it with the actual hydro, so it's not so strong. Or there's some people out there that just smoke cess. I'm not a fan of cess at all.
So it's like cess, like something that we probably would have got back in high school days.
Probably, yeah. Around those lines. But like even now, like cess is something that's big now. A lot of people are using it, mixing it in their blunts, or just smoking straight cess, and I don't really understand why.
So is that they're growing a shitty plant? Is that what that is? Like,
see, I really, from what I understand, cess is just like low quality herb, bush herb. That's it, and it has all the shit in it. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. But from what I know, with herb and cess, you smoke it. You may get a little bit high, like you were smoking some high grade cannabis, but it's gonna be extremely not as long. It's gonna be doesn't taste as good. It just doesn't burn as nice. And once again, it has stems and seeds in it.
Yeah.
So it's not something that an everyday cannabis smoker is gonna want, or a medicinal somebody on medicating purposes are definitely not gonna want it because it's not gonna do what they need.
Okay, so medical weed.
Right.
Have you ever, obviously you smoked medical weed. What do you think of medical weed? Because like people out there that have never smoked medical weed.
Right.
It's a different fucking beast.
It is.
Like you think you're getting your weed from your guy and you're smoking, you're like, yo, I got really high. medical marijuana is fucking intense.
It really depends on your LP, and your LP is your licensed provider. There's a wide variety of licensed providers, and there's a lot of different quality of medication you can get from licensed providers. I've had stuff where I literally took it out of the jar and I couldn't smoke it because it smelled like chemicals.
Okay, so
it goes either which way.
Interesting.
I've also had some very nice stuff from Broken Coast. It was like a pink kush. It was beautiful. But I had stuff. My wife doesn't smoke at all. Open the jar. She's like, that smells like chemicals. For someone that doesn't smoke cannabis,
you can smell. I know. I know what you're talking about. You can smell.
And
it's like that sticky too. Like you find it like
sometimes it's sticky, but a lot of times it's bone dry. And people that smoke cannabis don't want bone dry because it's going to be harsh.
Yeah.
Whether you're smoking it in a joint or a bowl or whatever, you're going to burn through it even faster compared to some sticky or not moist but sticky cannabis.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now, for example, I ordered some from one of my LPs. I opened it up, smoked it. I honestly could not even continue to smoke it. It tasted so bad and gave me a headache. So
it was probably had some mold, or was it just they're spraying shit on it?
So a lot of times they're spraying shit. They're not cleaning it properly. Like for example, I know this one. I can't remember the name of the LP, but they're posting that they had charcoal filters in the grow room. Now, don't get me wrong, charcoal filters are great, but if you have charcoal in the room, in your filter, that means you're going to have charcoal particles within your grow room. Mm-hmm. Charcoal particles are going to contaminate your cannabis.
Yeah. Anything in that fucking room would, right?
Exactly. Like most people, like it just shouldn't be that way. I understand why they put it in there, but at the same time, you are ruining or potentially ruining the quality and the taste and the smoke of the medicine.
Your medicine, yeah. See, one of the first times I've ever smoked medicinal marijuana, wheelchair weed was what they called it, right?
That'd be like an indica.
Yeah,
couch lock.
I had my boy. Shout outs to Dawson. He came over with his wife, and I was with my ex at the time, and we had a dinner. They came over. It was like
the end
of the night. You know what I mean? We go on my patio, and I'm like, Dawson, let's smoke a joint. He's like, Nassau, are you sure? I go, fuck yeah, man, let's do it. So he has. First of all, this thing was thicker than my fingers. You know what I mean? I should have. Yeah, I should have known. I should have been like, yo, okay, fucking one hoot. I took like fucking 5 hoots, just passing around, and at the end of it, I just remember seeing myself from up top down. I was outside of my body. And I'm like, holy... And then all of a sudden, like, yo, Nassau, you okay? You okay? I'm like, you got to go home. You guys got to go home. I was flipping out.
Oh, paranoid.
Dude, I was paranoid. I was fucking losing my mind.
That almost sounded like the first time I smoked concentrates.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, man. Like, they felt really bad, him and Teresa. And my ex-wife was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I couldn't talk. So then we're sleeping. I thought I was fucking dying. Like when I was sleeping, I kept opening my eyes. I'm like, I'm dead. This is it. I actually died. And I'm looking around my room like, wow, I'm just walking around dead. Like, it's fucking crazy in my head, bro.
Mindfuck, man.
It was a mind fuck. And I was just like, I didn't smoke cannabis for a couple years after that. Cause
this is a good buddy of yours, right, though? So
are you
sure it was just cannabis? Because that's
no. Like when he smokes, man, like he smokes real. I think it was from his dad. I think he got it from his dad. It was really, really, really good shit.
Fair enough.
And myself, like at the time, I really wasn't smoking weed.
Right. So it really hit you.
Yeah, and he warned me. He's like, "You fucking sure, man? You sure you want to go down this little fucking rabbit hole? Like this is gonna be harsh." And I'm like, "I don't fucking do it. I'm a man. Look at me. I got my fucking wife here. I got my plate." Like it was stupid, and it turned me off cannabis for a long time. And we still talk about it. If I see him, we still like.
I believe
we laugh about it because it's funny, man. You know what I mean? I've had some really bad freakouts on cannabis.
Okay.
Like THC, just like crazy shit. You know, and people.
Do you have anxiety?
I did. Well, yeah, I suffer from it. Yeah,
okay.
But
Sativa's in heighten your anxiety if you have it. As an indica, it's chill, sleep, appetite, couch lock.
Right, and that's what I have. I usually smoke an indica now. But a couple of years ago, my buddy Yarrick came over, and I was living with my parents. Now, Yarrick is a professional No, he's not professional. He's a runner.
Yeah.
Guy runs like 15, 13K.
Oh, shit,
right?
okay.
So he's running from Ancaster, and I used to live on Rice Avenue.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to come by your house. I'm like, okay. He comes by. He's like, let's smoke a joint. My parents were gone. I'm like, yeah, let's go in the backyard, smoke a joint, have a beer. Again, man, this fucking guy, man, when he smokes weed that will put you under, man.
Yeah, there's no point to not smoke weed. It's not going to put you under.
And I'm smoking this joint with him, and we're talking about my back, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, what the fuck? I couldn't talk to him.
So all of a sudden, it's like,
boom. Just like, boom. Everything just stopped. Time stopped. I'm focusing across because like a little bit of, it's like our neighbors are out, and I'm seeing their numbers, and on the back of the houses, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was flipping out. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go home. I'm going to run another 20K. He's like, we should smoke a joint and do the stairs. I go, are you insane? I'm like, I can never fucking smoke a joint with you and run the stairs. Like, I like to smoke a joint before I go to bed.
Oh, okay.
Chill in my house. Yeah. You know? And, like, my electronics off and shit. Just, like.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's just, like, I'm not a social guy to smoke.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone in that sense.
Yeah. But now that I smoke before I go to bed, I'm fine. You know what I mean?
And you're used to having it. You're smoking on a regular basis. You have it in your system. Therefore, you're not going to have such an anxiety attack or such a reaction as you would.
I've greened out, too.
Really? I've never greened out from cannabis, man. Well, maybe once. This may be a good story.
Go for it.
First time I tried shatter concentrates, okay? Well, first time I did it in my own house. So I did a dab, got up, went to the kitchen.
What's dabbing?
Dabbing is like when you have it's like a bong. A bong that people smoke flower out of. A rig is a little bit smaller, and you smoke concentrates out of, like shatter, rosin, distillants, crumbles, and those type of thing. So
we're gonna get into how you make this stuff too.
Oh
right?
yes, it's a big ordeal. So this time, first time me doing my own dab, did a dab, went to my kitchen. I went to the corner of my wall, passed out. Slid down my wall, passed out. My wife Fallon comes up to me and says, Alex, what's wrong with you? Smacking me in my face. I come out 15 seconds later. What are you doing? Get off me. Get off me. I was like, what's wrong with you? Don't ever do that again. I was like, what? I didn't do it on purpose. I was tripping out. Like, essentially that's called a greening out. I guess you can call it. That would be. Because like 15 seconds, I don't fucking remember. So that's my first time greening out concentrates, though. Yeah. High quality concentrate. That's the problem.
See, I had buddies, man, like my buddy Jay and Brandon. We were doing Brandon's apartment. They're like, yo, we're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna come over to your house. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Whatever. So they come over to my house and they bring the bong, right? I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, you smoke some weed. I'm like, yeah. I did one rip of the bong, dude. I greened out. I wake up. They're like, yo, you're right. I'm like, yo, you guys gotta fucking leave my house. That's it.
That's Angelo's line.
That's my line. Yo, just leave. Just leave, man. It was, to this day, man, it was like, instant. They're like, oh my God.
So let me guess. It was like, you hit the bong, inhale, exhale, 1 minute, get the fuck out.
Yeah, man. It just sort of like, everything just stopped. And it was just like, I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, you're right, man. I'm like, you guys are going to leave, man. Like, it was just, I threw up, man. It was bad.
I'm telling you, on one of these podcasts, I'm going to get you to smoke. We're going to do some fucked up shit. We're going to smoke out of a watermelon, smoke out of a pumpkin, smoke out of strawberries. Do all types of shit, man. That's right. I'll be your DD. You don't have to worry about that.
I wake up, I'm chained to a bed. What the fuck?
It's all right, man. Here's your more medicine. Take that.
So how do you grow it? How do you grow weed?
Wow.
Because the legalizations came in,
right?
And we're allowed up to how many plants?
4 plants a household. Doesn't matter if you 4 plants a household. That's it. Unless you have your medical license, then of course your medical license. Right. Then you have your 4 plants for your household.
So how does somebody start off growing a plant? What do you have to do?
Honestly, I think the easiest way to start off is using the old-fashioned traditional way, sun-grown. So outdoor or greenhouse. Whether you want to do it from a feminized seed or you want to get a clone.
And explain what a feminized seed is and a clone.
So a clone is a trimming, it'd be a clipping of a full-grown plant. So literally, you'll have a couple of leaves in the stem, right? So what they did, they went to the plant, they picked off went to a good part of the plant that was strong, clipped off the leaf and the stem, put it in a solution, so started that that solution helped the clone to break roots or get roots.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, that clone or that small plant turns into a full-grown cannabis plant.
So you obviously gotta take that clone, put it into a bigger pot.
Yep.
Right. And then what do you?
So by putting it in a pot, you want to put it in. There's certain fertilizers that are great for growing cannabis, whether it's bat, so guano, rabbit, lambs. Those are some of the greatest fertilizers to use to grow your cannabis, right? So with that being said, let's say you did it from a clone. Let's say you dug up a foot hole all around, okay,
right.
and then put it in about 6 inches, okay. You still want it. Of course, you want it to be visible above the ground. So then you just start watering it. Water it maybe once every 3 days, once every 4 days, depending on the weather.
Okay.
Right. So with that's outdoor sun grown.
Do you water it? Like my dad, when he waters his garden,
Yeah.
he always says, water it in the morning.
Yes.
Right in the morning.
Yes, right in the morning.
Don't water it
There's no point.
because you'll kill the plants if you're watering.
Not necessarily
in the
kill the plants,
sun.
but like especially in the summer, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing it in the morning, it's the best time because it's the coolest time, right?
Right.
Therefore, you know that water is actually getting to the roots and actually getting to where it needs to be. As in the summertime or springtime, sometimes temperature varies.
Right.
If you go out at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock when it's 27 degrees, you water it. How much of that water is actually getting to the roots compared to? That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. So, like, really and truthfully, how I look at it, if you grow sun-grown or greenhouse and you know what you're doing, that is where you can come up with the best product. Because how is cannabis naturally grown?
Oh, sun. That's it.
People have manipulated cannabis to grow it indoor.
Hydroponics, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's many other ways to grow other than hydroponics, but that's one of the main ways that people know, right?
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. On a higher level, you can grow you can grow more plants within the indoor, but it's a lot more work. When you have your outdoor, if you're just someone that wanted something to smoke, you can plant your clone, plant your seed, water every now and then, and go about your day. Indoor, you got to check your pH levels. You got to check what's going on. You got to make sure there's no bugs. You got to make sure your environment's correct, because if you get a bug, that means every single plant has a good chance of getting that bug. And if it gets that spider mite or gets mold, good chance
you're done.
Everything gone.
Really?
All right. So like, that's the thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So so you plant it, it starts to grow. What from start to finish? What are you looking at? How many months?
Depends. Every strain grows a little bit differently. You can be looking at like 8-9 weeks. You could be looking at 11 to 12 weeks. Every strain is different, and also what you want, right?
Yeah.
Because when the buds are growing, when you're looking at it through a magnifying glass, that's when you're kind of seeing when the plant is done. So if you're looking and you see the trichomes are they're like a smoky clear, right?
So the trichomes are on top of the bud?
It would be all over the bud. So if you have a magnifying...
So the crystal, is that like the crystal? Yeah.
Essentially, that's a more scientific term for it.
Yeah.
Right? So like depending on what kind of high or what kind of feeling you want, or depending on how you want those crystals or trichomes to look like. Right? If you want if they were amber, then that'd be a very, very high head high. Right? But if you have that smoky, smoky clear look, you have a very relaxed body buzz, right? It depends on what you want, basically, at the end of the day.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
So we have the plant grown now.
Yeah.
So sativa is what? The bigger?
Sativa grows big,
right. Wide, right?
Exactly.
Sativa
wide and tall, yeah. And very stretched out.
Stretched out, yeah. They look awkward, actually.
Very much awkward. So. As indicas, like, can be like a massive just bush.
That's
or
right.
just like a solid stalk of bud.
Yeah. So now you got to trim it.
Yep.
How do you what's the trimming process?
Well, everyone's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
There's different type of curing. Like some people will just cut down the whole plant. That's how I did it. Cut down the whole plant. Let it dry for 2 to 5 days for the whole plant. Then I'll break it down from the whole plant into like just the bud and a little bit of stem and the bud, and put it in a mason jar or some type of glass jar, CV vault container, something along those lines. Right? So by that's you curing it. Right? So by you hanging the whole plant, that's the plant drying out. Now by you putting it in the jars, that's you curing it and getting it ready for you to be able to medicate it.
So when you're curing in the jar,
right?
What is it doing in that jar?
what it's doing is dry is it's getting to the perfect temperature. It's also not temperature, humidity. Sorry, it's also getting to where the chlorophyll that's within the stems and the plant itself, it gets to go down to the bud, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where the bud. How do I put this? Put it this way. If you have a plant drying and you start cutting it before it dries, that chlorophyll will release and you will have more of a hay smell and taste.
Ah, okay.
Whereas if you wait till the plant dries completely, then starts trimming it, that chlorophyll will not release into the whole entire bud. Therefore, if you're smoking blueberry, you'll have a very nice blueberry taste and smell, right?
That brings me to my next question. So there's all these types of strains, okay? So one of my favorite is blueberry because the taste. It's got that sweet. Amazing. It's got that sweet taste to it. You know what I'm saying? How are they getting these tastes in that?
Well,
they're not.
It's the genetics, man. Like somebody would be like, okay, I'm growing 50 blueberries. Then I'm going to find out one blueberry that's amazing.
How do they get that blueberry taste, though? What are they doing with it?
So it's all about the genetics in the plant. Okay. So they're looking for the best genetic, one that smells the best, that's the strongest, that looks the best. And they'll take that one plant and keep on breeding it. So then you know your blueberry is the master blueberry compared to some of the other ones that are not so good. Yeah. So that's basically how they go about it.
That's like that was like one of the first ones I experimented in high school. I knew, I was like, oh wow,
blueberry is very common though.
Very common.
Because everyone was like, the smell and the taste, right off the nose, you're like, that's blueberry.
Yeah.
So all you do is smell the bag. Yeah, I'll take that blueberry. Yeah. It was very popular, just like Purple Kush back in the day.
Purple Kush, yeah. What's your favorite to smoke?
Depends on the type of day, man.
Yeah.
Like
do you have how many types do you have that you like?
Well, there's like a sativa. One of Bob Marley's favorite strains to smoke, lamb's bread. I love it. Really? I love lamb's bread. It's a very nice sativa. But overall, it's very hard to find, though. Extremely hard to find. But an overall strain that I love to smoke, which I can find on a regular basis, is a Pink Kush. It's a hybrid, but you get the indica.
I've had Pink Kush, yeah.
You get the indica benefits as well as the sativa benefits. So it's like you can end up being very active and very get up and move, right?
Yeah.
As well as help with some pain or your sleeping or your appetite.
Yeah,
so it's very balanced.
It is, and it's interesting because when you look at it, like it's pink.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting I actually just had Pink Kush, and I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, what the? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. But once again, there's so many different phenotypes, so many different people growing the pink. So you may get a pink from Joe Blow, and you may not like it.
That's right.
But you get the pink from Samson Simpson, and that's just your favorite. Yeah. Because there's so many different types. So many different growers, right? That's the problem.
So we're going to touch on it a little bit here. We just found out that there's still raids going on.
Still.
Right?
Georgia Peach got raided today.
Yeah, they just got raided today. Man, I used to go there all the time.
I believe it. Tons of people did. Because
all the time.
You ever been to the Upper James location, the drive-through or the walk-through dispensary?
Yeah. It's
24/7, man. 24/7.
Yeah, man. You can't beat that.
You can't. And the prices.
Yeah. And that's, it's going to be really hard, I think, for the legalization part of it to start offering stuff like that.
I don't think they'll ever be able to.
I don't think so.
For example, off the top of my head, I remember Georgia Peach.
That's smart marketing, bro. 24 hours,
7 days a week.
7 days a week, drive-through. What?
And if you don't have your car, you could walk through.
You can walk through.
What drive-through can you walk through?
You can't.
Unheard of.
Yeah, you try that. No, yeah. I used to do that as a kid.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
You may get lucky. They may let you slide through, but if you try it again, probably not.
Tim Hortons, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's it's going to be interesting because we got 4 stores?
Hamilton got the okay for 4 stores. 4 out of 7 of them are going to be in Hamilton area. But think about this. How many dispensaries at its prime were in Hamilton? I think 50 to 70. So insane, 50 to 70 dispensaries in Hamilton, and we're going to go down to 4. Also, think about this. At some of these dispensaries, people are able to pay $100 for an ounce. For an ounce of weed, for people that don't know, that's 28 grams. For the other people that don't know, that's 4 quarters. Okay?
This guy was really fucking good at math in high school.
Math.
When it comes to that stuff, I'm an ounce. Just give me an ounce. You know how much? It's an ounce.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude.
But the government charges with delivery to your front door. I'm pretty sure, depending on who you go with, anywhere from 80 to 107 or $10 for 7 grams of weed. Now, why would I order from the government to get my recreational cannabis and pay $100 for 7 grams? Well, I can go down to a dispensary, even though it may be an illegal dispensary, and pay $100 for 28 grams, which is 4 times what I'm getting from the government. And the quality is better.
Yeah, it's
they got to get on point. And concentrates. So for other people, distillants, shatters, crumbles, waxes, rosins, diamonds, all that stuff, the government is not allowing it.
Do you think that they're not allowing it because they don't know? They don't understand it. They think like there's a repercussion from doing that stuff. Like they don't. I
think so, but they don't understand cannabis enough. They don't understand the concentrates enough.
Yeah,
they're also going after edibles. They don't want edibles.
That's right.
For the longest time, with the illegal dispensaries that were in Hamilton, they were going after them just because they're selling edibles.
Do you think you're going to see? I think we're going to see this, but do you think we're going to see the LPs, right, that are local, right?
Like Gage Cannabis?
Yeah. Like they're gonna start they're gonna start opening up storefronts in their grows.
No,
Tweed. You know Tweed.
Yes, Tweed's a unique one, but Tweed
because it would be smart.
It would be smart, but at the same time, that's more things you have to worry about. If somebody comes and tries to rob you, which is different because dispensaries now, they're a black market, illegal dispensaries. So if somebody wants to go rob them, who is the owner's going to call?
Yeah.
I understand now this is the LP, but at the same time, you have your storefront connected to your grow. I see the pro and cons in it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
I see both sides.
I know like the big guys out in like Guelph Way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like when you do a tour, when they start happening, I think what they should be doing is ending up in a shop.
Yeah. But once again, only some municipalities, towns, or cities will have that.
Yeah.
So not even half of them will be able to.
I know. That's
it's
messed
up. They're going to have to revisit it.
That's so messed up.
Like, Oakville, they opted out.
Yeah, it's Oakville for you, though.
That is Oakville. Same with Grimsby. They opted out as well. This is the same people that didn't want public transit in their towns. Why? Why do they not want public transit? Because they think they're going to start low-income people start moving in their towns or their cities.
Yeah. It's so interesting, like how the whole thing of cannabis, man. Like even how it started, with what do you call it? They used to make it with sails on boats. Hemp, yeah. Man. Like insane how much hemp did.
But they also don't want people to know that because that put the cotton industry out of commission.
Exactly.
Hemp is 10 times cheaper, 5 times stronger, easier to grow.
All rope used to be out of hemp, man. The Constitution in the States
was written on
first and second was written on hemp paper.
Exactly. But they don't want people to know that.
No.
Why? Why are they so scared of hemp? Why? It's just like why they're so scared of cannabis. Pharmaceutical industry,
the truth, man. It's once you know the truth, it'll set you free, man. Like it's funny because
or it'll mess your head up because you can't figure out why the government is trying to do this to us.
Go down the fucking rabbit hole, man. And I know a lot of people that have gone down that rabbit hole. I'm like, yo, just don't stop thinking about it like that.
Because you drive yourself nuts. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's nice to know it, but it's at the same time, it's
not. It's a mind fuck.
It is. It totally is. And it's crazy how they started with the Mexican people and the Black Americans. Mm-hmm. They're blaming them for smoking cannabis and going crazy.
Right, which is lies.
Which is all lies and bullshit because that was formed by the cotton factories at the time.
Yep.
Right? And it's just like, man, like... And then now you see today what's going on in the States. Like, has anything really changed?
No. Not a damn thing.
Like, there's
in some aspects, yes, but at the same time, the big picture, Not at all.
Not at all, man.
Not at all, man.
And like we're talking before the podcast started, you've gone through some racial shit in your life.
Big time.
Big time. Myself, I've seen it firsthand with him. And, you know, we don't realize how good we have it. The white people, man, like we could sit there and waving cops and have conversations. You, on the other hand, have to always worry. Be on your fucking guard, man.
Yeah, man. Constantly.
Like, dude, I couldn't believe it. You're like, yo, this happens all the fucking time. I'm like, shit.
I'll say this right now, okay? Back in the day, chilling at a park with one of my exes at the time. I think we had a picnic in the park. So I think we're just relaxing after that. Cops roll up. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, we're just enjoying the beautiful day at a picnic. What are you doing with him? Separate us. They try to find out if I was trying to pimp her out or trying to hold her against her will.
Yeah.
They're trying to get her to say anything. Meanwhile, she was like, I had a picnic with my boyfriend. We're just enjoying the beautiful day. And they kept going and going. Did he hurt you? Is he holding you against your will? Meanwhile, what's your name? What's this so-and-so? So you can just come up to me, and I'm just relaxing at a park, not doing anything illegal and anything wrong, and you can come question me. Like that, for what? But the crackhead over there in the corner that happens to be a white dude, you're leaving him alone.
They leave him alone, yeah. It's insane, man.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. Because, like, people think times have changed, and they're like, yeah, in Canada we are better off, I guess, than
the States?
What's going on in the fucking States.
But at the same time, Canada still has its own issues.
We still have our own issues, man. And like the whole thing with the legalization, like I hope that this will sort of break that. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Now what they're doing with the driving laws.
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy. I just heard about that. Yeah.
Some people, no matter what, if I didn't smoke for 4 days and you test me, chances are I'm going to test over the 5 nanograms or whatever it is for the government. But at the same time, I get pulled over for what? DWB? So what's going to stop them for when they pull me over for DWB? For people that don't know that, driving while black. And if they get the idea that, let me give him a test.
This is bad of laughing.
And then he tests me, and then, you test positive. But wait a minute, you pulled me over for nothing, and then you're testing me for what? Cannabis that I smoked 4 fucking days ago?
4 days.
And you're going to say I'm high? Not a chance, buddy. Not a chance. But I got to go fight that now.
Yeah, I know. It gets fucked.
If you smoke and I smoke, how it affects you now affects
totally
me
different.
Day and night.
Day and night.
Day and night.
Like, I will go insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me, it's just my everyday thing. I go about my day.
Yeah.
That's the difference, man.
And this is, listen, like, we're two friends, man. Like, you know what's funny is like Alex got me into my job today that I'm in.
Oh yeah.
That's how we met, man. We met in college.
Yeah. First placement.
First placement. You had Queen
Victoria.
Man. Yo, that was insane.
Way back. Good time.
Yeah, man. And so, like, what we're gonna be doing, and you guys will see this on a separate page, and we're gonna get a YouTube account going. Is we're gonna start interviewing people in the industry, and it's called High Class Podcast. So tomorrow night we're gonna be at the Canna Crawl. We don't know where it is yet.
To be announced.
We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Yep.
But dude, Alex, man, I want to thank you for coming down, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
thank you for having me, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
Definitely.
This is the Get Down podcast with Nasso. And what's your story? If you want to be on the Get Down, email me at angelonasso at gmail.com. And that's it.
Signing out, folks. Peace.
Peace.